Representing here World Vegan Vision, and along with me, Asamai Temple, our good friend Shri Govindji has been helping us with the launching program. Vishal Arora, another good friend of mine, he is helping us, and also Pradeep Tandonji. Pradeep Tandonji, he also helped us sponsor this program, and also Someshji is the key to make this program successful. He is the one who brought Dr. Chhajer here. So I'll start with the World Vegan Vision and what is our mission. I just want to make sure somebody starts the record button. Okay. So World Vegan Vision has a very simple mission. It's a 30-year-old organization founded by Mr. H.K. Shah. We have two representatives from World Vegan Vision here. I think they both must have complicated, but they'll be here. I'll introduce them. We have a very simple mission: how to make this world disease-free, or give people tools to live a healthy life. No other mission, no other agenda. Plant-based whole food diet is the best way to achieve that. And you will hear today from our distinguished Dr. Chhajer as to how to accomplish this. We conducted a Thanksgiving dinner last year on island and attended by about 150 people. We intend to do similar programs at least once every quarter, a big program once every year, to bring people's awareness what lifestyle diseases are and how we can cure them. So, two people that I wanted to introduce, they were away, but Pradeepji Tandon, he is president of IILI, and he helped us. And also Avinashi, he drove all the way from New Jersey. And he is the editor of our World Vegan Vision magazine. And I don't see Nitin. He's coming, okay. And also, our two senior most member of World Vegan Vision who have supported us from the beginning is Dr. Bimal Chhajer and Dr. Bimal Chhajer. They're both here. They have been a good supporter of us. So, without much further, and Govindji, I would like to invite you to please share a few words about Asamai. You have done a remarkable job, the temple has done a remarkable job in bringing the community together. Also, I would like Pradeepji to come and say a word or two about ILI, and also Shobhitji to talk about the Sattvic products, so we have that going on. And Maniji, thank you so much for your help, really appreciate it. So, Govindji, would you please come here and introduce our distinguished speaker today, Dr. Chhajer.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organization that Rakeshji mentioned, all your community leaders, I don't want to repeat the same names. Thank you for coming and welcome to the Asamai Hindu Temple. I don't want to go into detail of Asamai, what Asamai is all about. Asamai Mandir was formed in 1996 in Flushing. We moved from Flushing to New York, to Long Island. And the background for Asamai Mandir is, Asamai is one of the largest mountain in Kabul, Afghanistan. And we had a mandir at the top of the mountain. And from there we moved to the down bottom. The government of Afghanistan, 200 years ago, they gave us the land to form this, to build this mandir. And that mandir still exists in Kabul. Still, it's a part of our community. And not only us, all the Muslim community believed in that mandir also. That there was a jewel at the 8,000 feet on the mountain. It was lit all the time, and every 6 months the community used to go up in the Navratri and we celebrated that. But anyway, this is the Asamai Mandir, and that's we brought this jewel from this mandir, actually from Kabul to Frankfurt to here. So this is the Asamai Mata, and definitely this is a community center. And we welcome you, and most of you have been in this mandir, and it's always welcome. And now I'm honored, we are honored to have you all at this temple. We are honored to announce Dr. Bimal Chhajer, if I'm pronouncing right. He's a doctor, as our esteemed keynote speaker for the event. Dr. Chhajer, I just read about him 2 weeks back when we heard that he could have a presentation. It is our honor. Dr. Chhajer is a distinguished cardiologist and ex-consultant at AIMS, New Delhi. He brings with him a wealth of expertise, including being the founder of SSAOL, the largest chain of preventive cardiology clinical globally, and a pioneer in non-invasive cardiac therapies. With over 3.5 million followers on YouTube and authorship of over 70 books. This is very impressive, very, very impressive. Dr. Chhajer incited promise to make this event truly enlightening for us. So, the Heart Center, which is recognized as a leading cardiologist center in India, and the top heart treatment center to naturally reverse heart diseases, with primary focus on non-invasive heart treatment, including EECP therapy. Therapy naturally. Bypass, detox, therapy. Dr. Chhajer have earned stellar reputation as a top heart specialist. Non-surgical blockage treatment, over 5 lakhs heart patients, a trusted and celebrated figure in the field of cardiology. He's a very visionary, inventive, and non-invasive solutions for the cardiological disease. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to invite Dr. Chhajer to the stage to take some, give him a big hand of
Thank you, Bhavin. There is a saying called better late than never, and I made a mistake. The mistake is, I apologize to both of you. I did not see Kirtiji Shukla. She is here to sing our American and Indian national anthem. So I apologize, that should be the first order of the priority, but I take the ownership of that mistake. So Kirtiji is our executive board member of World League Education New York Center. And we all rise and do the national anthem first, then Dr. Chhajer, please floor is all yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you all. And I'm going to sing the anthems. Oh, sing and you sing by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the rampart we won, fair so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were glare, the bombs bursting in air, you proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave on the land of the free and the home of the brave.
God bless America.
Now, Indian anthem, you can all join with me. Jana-gana-mana Vinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttal Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Ujjal Jaladi Taranga तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय
Kirti ji, thank you so much. Now, I have one more order of work before we move on, which is the proper welcome of Dr. Chhajer. So, Nitin Bhai, Avinash ji, please come. We have a bouquet of flowers that I would like both of you to go on behalf of World Vegan Vision. And Vishal, I would like you to come to help me give it. Yeah. Please. Avinash ji, editor of our World Vegan Vision magazine and a very ardent supporter of World Vegan Vision. Thank you. No, it's okay. Somesh bhai, you are आप सूत्रधार बने इस प्रोग्राम के. You should be acknowledged. Please come. Join Dr. Chhajer. No, we are giving her welcoming you. You come all the way from here. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Chhajer, just one simple request. This is your speech, this is your floor. However you want to handle it, you do it. We are all here to listen to you. I suggest the question and answer. If you want, you can keep it in the end, or if you want people to interrupt, they can do it.
I think we'll keep it in the end.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you, for coming over here, and let me share my views about heart care. And I must thank Rakesh ji, Somesh ji, and the Vegan Mission for supporting this talk. I have come to US only to attend a conference on preventive cardiology in South Carolina, and I was there till yesterday. And for next 2 days I am here. So today I got a lecture, tomorrow in New Jersey there is a lecture. Basically, heart disease is a self-created disease, though it is the #1 disease all across the world. Across the world, out of every 100 deaths, 30 are because of heart. And these 30 are unnatural deaths. Nobody, in fact, should have died of heart problem. God has created this human body to last for 100 years. We don't take care, so many of us die after maybe 60, 70, 80. But ideally, all the organs are made for 100 years, including the heart. And heart is becoming a culprit because we don't take care. We do not actually know what ought to be done to keep the heart healthy. So I'm going to give you some ideas about what to do, what not to do. Heart disease can be created by us and also can be reversed by us. And I'm going to give you tips about how we can reverse the disease. Our human body is different from any other machine in the sense it can repair itself. You scratch on my hand and you scratch on a Mercedes car. After a week or so, you will see this scratch is gone. But the Mercedes cannot repair itself, the body can repair itself. So our body can reverse the things that you have done to it. And the same way, when you don't take calcium, body starts taking calcium out of your bones. And you start supplementing calcium into your deposits. The opposite happens in the heart. When you take a lot of fats and cholesterol, they get deposited in the heart tubes and choke the tube. You stop those two major culprits. We stop the blockage from growing, and if you do it little better, then we can also reverse. So this is what is the crux of my talk. Everybody is concerned about heart disease because we see out of 100, 30 deaths, that means 3 out of 10. And whenever you see a death because of heart, you are worried, oh, I may be the next candidate, or that worry is always there because heart disease happens without any warning. Heart attack happens without warning, and you've been seeing people. So I'm going to give you so much of ideas that you will know what exactly is heart problem, what exactly we should do, not only to prevent the disease but to reverse the disease. Next slide. I quickly have to go through some slides because they are just to introduce our process. My organization we call SAWL. SAWL is Science and Art of Living. Medical science and art, both we have joined as a doctor, as a professional, as a cardiologist. I treat heart disease. So that's from the medical science point of view. And from the art of living, we have taken yoga, meditation, stress management, so lifestyle, cooking process. So art and science both joined is science and art of living. And I belong to Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, SAWL means to do things in the best possible way. I know how many people are from Rajasthan in this gathering. SAWL से करना, कोई भी काम करो SAWL से करो, SAWL से खाओ, SAWL से बोलो, SAWL से रहो, गाड़ी SAWL से चलाना, कपड़े SAWL से पहनना, और बेटी ससुराल जाती है तो मदर बोलती है बेटा SAWL से रहिए, मतलब best possible way. This is what is the meaning of SAWL. This is our head office in Delhi. Next. This little bit of my introduction. I worked at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences for 6 years. I resigned from there because I thought the treatment that goes on in the form of bypass surgery, angioplasty, should not be done, and we should depend more on the reversing process rather than cutting the body. Remember, I am against cutting the body for the simple reason that our body is from the nature. You have all of you have mobile phones in your hand. All the parts can be detached and again joined together to start the mobile phone again. Nature does not have that mechanism. These mobile parts are made by us, so we can reassemble it. But you pluck a flower from the tree and put it back, I will agree with you. You cannot do that. So nature is something which should not disturb because we cannot make the nature again. You cut a fruit from the middle and then you join it again. Can you do that? Take a pomegranate, detach all the small grains, and now try to repack yourself. Go to the best factories and tell them, okay, you repack in the way the nature has done. Can you do that? Human body has the same mechanism. It's a nature's thing. And before cutting, you think that it cannot be done the same way. So it has got billions of cells, and you cannot reconstruct it in the same way it was there. So whatever operation you do before that, you think, and it is irreplaceable. It cannot be replaced. Mobile phones you can buy, a car you can buy if it goes wrong, no problem. But human body you cannot buy. So you have to stay with this body throughout. So it is better not to create trouble for it. Don't operate. So this is what is my theory about why until that time it will survive. Now have you understood the meaning? Don't you think there is something wrong, grossly wrong into the whole process? The system is so that the hospitals are paying so much to the doctors. They have to recover all the Cost from where? So you have to compel, but without breaking the law. Without breaking the law, you have to compel the patient. So you have to do what? Put a fear that anything can happen anytime. Bus finished. The person immediately says, "Sir, whatever you want, please do everything. I have all the money because life is more precious than money." Anyway, I'm sure I've given you the gist of the whole matter. And I think I must thank you. I've already crossed the time, but I want some question answers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, before we go to Q&A, I would like to invite Kirti ji and Pradeep ji to present a little appreciation for Dr. Saab. And then, Nitin bhai, I would like you to come after this and induct Dr. Chhajer into the membership of World Vegan Vision. Somesh bhai, please come up. Come on.
Lights on कर देते हैं सारा.
एक मिनट, हम पंडित जी कर सकते हैं. And also, Govind ji would like to honor Dr. Chhajer with Assamese blessing, Fuji Assamese blessing. So please, आइए Govind ji.
Nanda, please come.
आइए.
Pandit ji, aapne
जी.
Asamayan Mandir welcomes you, Dr. Saab. It was a really great presentation. We would like to have more offerings. Let's see. This is from our Asamayan temple. Nanda is our secretary.
Thank you so much.
स्वस्ति नः पूर्वा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तारिच्य अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु
Okay.
Picture with you and आइए. आइए.
Thank you. Is your presentation available on the YouTube?
Yeah, it's there. YouTube, all the lectures are there. And if you want to hear the exact lecture, it is called the most popular lecture of Dr. Bimal Chhajer. It has got 7.2 million people seeing it already, about 1 hour.
So, I want to thank a couple of people here before we start. One is Vishal. Vishal is the one who actually sponsored this program today. Vishal, please. So what happened is that we were planning to do this work and Somesh bhai was away, so I did not coordinate with him. And then last Saturday my best friend's wife passed away, so I was doing this work and we were away. So somehow I got hold of Vishal and I said, Vishal, we need to do this program on 18. He said, no worry, I'll take care of it. And then he reached out to Govind ji and I thought, Govind ji, it's not a big deal, I'll take care of it. So between two of them, they answered. Then I reached out to Pradeep ji and said, Rakesh bhai, don't worry, I'll promote it, I'll take care of it. Nilima ji also said, I'll promote it. Suman ji Munjal, who is not here today, she was unfortunately not well. She said, I'll help you. So it's a community effort. But this is the kind of work we would like to bring to our community. The community that we live in Long Island. It has given us a lot to all the people who migrated to this beautiful country, this beautiful island. We would like to give back to this community. My spiritual master says, live your life by learning, earning, and returning. So this is our returning piece. The only thing we can do is attend and spread the word. There is nothing we are selling. Dr. Saab graduated in 1986, but today look like that. If you look at his face, if you look at his energy, he looks like he is in 86 today. He was no different than what he was in 1986, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I'll start with the question. I'll tell you why. I've been following the vegan diet, not exactly plant-based whole food diet, for 22 years. And Dr. Chhajer's cousin and I actually go back 30 years. And at first I heard it, he was very focused on the anatomy of the body. I distinctly remember his lecture. He went much deeper into the heart. And today what he distilled is practical, how a simple person can do at home. Very, very powerful. But I'll tell you my story and I'll tell you why it is so important as a first question. 10 years ago in 2012, I got a heart attack. The way I found out about it is that I own a hospital that I built with Dr. Pratap Reddy in India. Now we have 5 heart hospitals. I don't know if you know that or not. On a treadmill, my doctor said, I find something suspicious, you go get a CT angiogram. They told me my LAD, which is also known as widowmaker, he was very kind, he didn't use that word. And every doctor in my hospital says, oh, you gotta get a stent put in, you gotta get a stent put in. I went to Dr. Carwell Esselstein's workshop for a day. You know Dr. Carwell Esselstein. I spent a day with him. He said, Rakesh, no oil. So we went to him, he said, you know, Dr. he was little bit of oil okay. He looked into her eyes, he said, not a drop of oil. And you know, obviously we Desis know how to go only with oil, so we started cooking with oil. Anyway, I got a stent because the same gun was pointed to my head by well-meaning friends and families. 10 years later in 2022, I got again a heart attack, despite being vegan. So now you would say that what's the point of being a vegan? His lecture explained that the reason it was delayed is because I was a vegan, except I was still consuming oil. My lesson for me is that if I don't want to get another heart attack in 32, I should give up oil, I should give up nuts, simple as that. That's the message it's giving us. It's for us to wake up and do that. It's my part to do that, nobody else's part. Now, funny thing is that I came out of the surgery, the surgeon, very nice guy, he said, Rakesh, I wish all my patients could be like you. You're 0.01% of patient. You exercise 10,000 steps, you do yoga every day, and you are vegan. 99.99% of our patients are like you. So I called him, I said, doctor, what do I do when I have a problem? He said, come back, I'll cut you again and I'll do that. That's exactly what he said to me. I said, is there anything I can do to prevent coming to you? He said, no idea, this is the only way. That's not the only way. So this is the message that I want to give you. That's why I'm so passionate about, despite all the hassles and everything, taking time away from family, you want to do this because if one more person among us can survive with another heart attack, then our mission is successful. The effort by Govindji, Vishal and Pradeepji and Nitinji and Avinashi is successful. So that's why the whole veganism is so favorite of mine. So Nitinji, please induct him into the membership. Please come over. Avinashi, please come over.
So at the end of one, you become a zero oil vegan.
I have one question.
One request to everybody write up your email and name. The paper is right there. So just pass.
See, whenever we have more programs, I plan to come back, so we'll at least inform you about more lectures like this. So you just fill up a form, write your email and name.
You know, any one of the committee member, you can give the name. We don't sell anything, we don't market anything. After serving the community, all these sentences turn all his knowledge free. I mean, think about it that way. He is not a doctor who wants to operate on you and collect the money. So just share your name, share whatever we send with other people. You might help somebody. That's all we care. Okay.
All right, I would like to invite Subladi.
Oh, yes.
Madi, please come. Dana, come.
Oh, these are all our members from BSC. Please come here. Yes. And also, we have some material that is on the table outside. Very important thing, there is a movie called Maa Ka Doodh on YouTube. MAAADOODH. We are now promoting it on YouTube.
Thank you so much.
Everybody who loves dairy, especially people from India, watch that movie Maa Ka Doodh. It's also subtitled in English. Anybody who needs information, there is a business card. Pick it up on the back of it is the YouTube link. Watch that movie. You will see how dairy is different than what it used to be in Krishna's land and what it is today. I can deliver an hour lecture just on what's wrong with dairy. Not today, but I'll just tell you. Dairy is the biggest country that we have causing, like he said, triglycerol, fat and cholesterol that comes from high fat product. Anyway, Induji, please.
No, I have a question and a comment. First of all, thank you for a very clear presentation. I'll tell you I'll just share my personal experience. My mother in India, this is almost 30 years ago. She went for a regular screening, and she was not allowed to come home because she had 4 arteries blocked. The doctor said that you are a walking time bomb and you can't come home. And we had gone to India for a wedding, and of course they had to do the surgery. After the surgery, God bless her, she survived till we lost her 2 years ago. So after that, every time I go to India, we talk about my mother. And then lately, every time I go to India, they always said कि इंडिया में तो आजकल ये बिजनेस बन गया है कि आर्टरी ब्लॉक होती नहीं है, जबरदस्ती तुम्हारा बाइक ये स्टैंड करते हैं, बाईपास करते हैं. But how can that happen? No, Hindu, you have no idea. Doctors are making money, it is not needed. And a lot of doctors, they are just basically taking money and creating the artificial blockages or whatever it is. So I said, okay, when it happens, I'm a healthcare professional, I'm not going to believe them anyway. But I think the way you explained it today, I have been repeatedly an advocate of fat-free. I have spoken to a lot of restaurant people. When I tell them about the cooking, मेरे घर में भी खाना आता है तो उसमें ऑयल होता है, टेक आउट लेके आते हैं हम लोग, और हम उनको जब बोलते हैं कि देखिए आप लोग इतना फैट यूज करते हो ऑयल, पर इंदु जी, can I tell you something? Our clients don't like the food without the fat. They have their business to run. So as an educated consumer, I mean, you go to any restaurant, any Chinese, Italian, any food is full of fat. So when I tell them, then I stop telling them because these are consumers who want to take that. So it's basically seminars like this, like telling the difference between the cholesterol and the triglycerides. I have repeatedly given talks on TV and radio also about the oils, how to select the right oil. And that's very important, that that's where triglycerides come from. So very well presented, thank you so much. And I hope, even if one person takes it, makes a big difference. Thank you very much.
Let me just answer one thing about this little oil, thoda sa. A lot of people come and tell me, sir, will you allow 3 drops of oil? 3 drops. I said, why? I know why 3 drops they are asking. I said, 3 drops I will allow, but you have to buy a dropper. So 3 drops I will allow. No, sir. हमारे घर पे 6 लोग हैं, 1 चम्मच में खाना बनता है, तो मेरे पास तो 3 drops ही आएगा, standard dialogue. So I counted once upon a time. I said I took a spoonful of oil and I counted 80 drops altogether. So he is telling 18 drops into 6 people, so 3 drops each. I said, chalo. So then I asked him another question. I said, these 3 drops, will you take it in lunch or in dinner? He says both the times. Then I said, how can you manage 3 drops? No, acha 6 drops will go out. I said, chalo 6 drops dunga. Think of it, in the breakfast, in the lunch, you will take 1 spoon in the whole family and 1 spoon in the dinner. So how much total in a day? 10 grams. I said, if your wife buys 1 kilo of oil, then it should last for 3.5 months. He said, definitely. I said, call up your wife. Honey, how much oil are we buying every month? He says 5 kilos. So this kind of approximations are very bad. कि 3 drop लगेगा, 3 drop नहीं लगता. When you add really 1 छोटा spoon नहीं होता. The spoon that you use to put water oil is the bigger one. And then every food that you prepare, you need. अगर 4 dishes बनी है तो सब में 1 चम्मच oil लगेगी. So you don't count like that. 0 means 0.
Next question from Dr. Jhaveri.
First of all, I just want to thank you for an excellent presentation, very knowledgeable and very thorough, and very informative. And I applaud you for the way you presented the presentation. My personal experience, while we were talking about this thing, I'm a urologist over here by profession, and why the government does not take any steps in India
to create some kind of a bodies in every city or state to have some kind of a body which investigates all these fraudulent activities that go all around the India. You know, like the lady was saying, I noticed personally myself that I went as a urologist to India and I went to so many hospitals and nursing homes and my friends' offices, and they told me that how they treat the patients. Why this thing is still today going on? Why they cannot control this thing? Why there is so much fraud in medical field?
Let me tell you what happened. In India, the legal system is very bad. Crores of court cases are pending.
Yes.
You go to the court, they will take 10 years to decide what is the final verdict. So the problem is the rules are there, but nobody follows the rule. That is a major problem. In US, at least that part is good. That if you do a fraud, you will get every ticket got hold of, and within few months you will get the punishment. In India, that punishment is eluding us. So the fraud is going on. But you know, fraud is not in medical field everywhere. Even the politicians, they have so much of fraud. So I don't know. India has few good things, few bad things. Here, at least you are secured from that angle that if somebody does an injustice, you can go to the court and take him to, you can target, you can punish them. But in India, that is a major problem. Advantage ये है कि रूल आप भी तोड़ लो और आपको भी कोई कुछ नहीं बोले. So that is an advantage, but again, it's not good. Definitely, the government says I've got so many bigger problems. What is this small problem? Why are you talking about that? And then some of the politicians, they also get a bypassage. Cytoplasty is done, so the doctors, they know everybody. So there is a lobbying. So a lot of things you can't really answer this. Kyun fraud ho raha hai India mein?
Just for the benefit of everyone, can I please request
take a mic.
short questions, please? And next I have Mr. Vibhuti Jha.
Okay.
Namaskar. Very useful and priceless information, but you have reached only 7.2 million people. What's your plan to make it available for 8 million people?
I'll tell you what.
Number two, you showed a machine that transfers blood
From the legs.
Where can we get it? And
You just type ECP center near me. In US, at least 100 centers are available. ECP is available in USA and it is paid by the Medicare. And even if you pay from your pocket, the whole ECP treatment takes about $3,000 or something like that. So anyway, this is one part. And second, you said how do we spray it? I'll tell you what. I have a very big plan of educating 140 crore people of India. We have divided, this is my next 5 to 10 years plan. We have selected 5 districts to do a trial run, that in a district we will get hold of some powerful people like Rajay Ratheji. In this whole district you are the chief for spreading this awareness. We'll make a film. Now this gentleman from that district, suppose there are 5 more towns or 6 more towns, everywhere he will add up one members. So this committee will get the doctors. The doctors will educate that you have to look for the best everywhere. And then every corner of the village, every panchayat, we want to hold one lecture. It does not need money because I have to give them a pen drive and a laptop, that's all per district. So every day there will be lectures. And initially we do it in 5-6 districts, and now then we will take up all 779 districts of India. So educating the whole masses on heart care, and this we call Mission Beat Heart Disease. And for that we have an NGO called Punya Heart Foundation. Now what is this Punya Heart Foundation? I'll just give you an interesting story about it. There was a gentleman whose friend died. He was 60 years and the friend died. So he started thinking that मेरे भी time आ रही है. So he starts thinking अब क्या होगा. Then he thinks यार इतना कुछ इकट्ठा किया, इतना काम किया, इतना कुछ बंगला गाड़ी सब खरीद लिया. Then what will happen to these? He was deeply sorrowed कि ये सब छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा. फिर उसके दिमाग में आता है कि यार ये सारा ऊपर लेके जाऊँ तो मैं एंजॉय कर लूँगा, क्या खराब है. So he starts toying with an idea कि ये सारा ऊपर लेके जाऊँगा तो अच्छा रहेगा. So he starts asking people, do you know how to transfer all this to heaven? Now everybody laughs at him. पागल है, you don't have a dialogue. अरे खाली हाथ आया है, खाली हाथ जाओगी कुछ नहीं ले जा पाओगी. He said no, there must be some way. ऐसे कैसे होगा? Then after 5 years, everybody tells him he's a pagal. But then he's trying his hard. Then he meets a fakir, fakir. वो बोलता है मैं सारा ट्रांसफर करवा दूंगा तेरा. बोलता how do you do that? बोलता अमेरिका गया है, कहाँ गया है? तो पैसे कैसे लेके जाता? बोलता डॉलर में चेंज करके लेके जाता हूँ. इंग्लैंड गया बोला पाउंड में चेंज करता हूँ. दुबई गया बोला दिरहम करता हूँ. बोला ऊपर ये करेंसी नहीं चलेगा. बोलता फिर बोले इसको खर्चा करके पुण्य इकट्ठा कर साथ लेके जाना.
Thank you. I have Mr. Krish.
So this is what is called Punya Foundation. Punya Heart Foundation is what we have formed. That let's educate everybody. I do these lectures not because I get money, but I get lot of satisfaction that I have informed so many people, and informing one by one does not help. So I went to YouTube. About 10 days back, there was a gentleman, he's a young chap in Bombay. His name is Raj Simani. He asked me that, doctor, I want to do an interview. So I gave a 1 hour interview to Raj Simani, and that was 10 days back. It was released, and today I got 1 million views of that lecture, 1 hour. So हर दिन 1 लाख लोगों ने देखा. So it's not few hundred. And I've got today one more gentleman, Praveen Chopra ji, just stand up. He's a journalist. So today he took an interview of mine on these lines. And he has a website called Lotus in the Mud.
Yes.
So he is trying कि South Asian community को at least education करना है. So I told him that you plan to get all the South Indian people to listen to this kind of lectures. तो आपको भी बोलूँगा जैसे कल I have got a lecture in New Jersey. So if you have anybody in New Jersey, take that detail. And where is that? Chinmaya Mission. Can you give me the detail? Cranberry Chinmaya Mission at 7:30
PM.
tomorrow. So you can, if you have a friend in that area, and I think suppose everybody has, so they can at least come and listen to that lecture, understand the same lecture, obviously. Yeah, I think next question. Yeah.
Hi, Doctor. First of all, I know time is short. I thank you, the organizers. It's a very, very good community service. It's God's work. Bottom of my heart, I thank you them. Very important. Second thing is, I have 6 questions, but I will ask only 1 or 2. One is, I'm a non-medical personnel. I'm asking you the question, Apollo PP protein A, Apollo PP protein A. You have mentioned here, how we can reduce that? Modern medical science cannot do that. This is number 1 question. Number 2 question is, you said we are not supposed to eat any nuts. I'm an inborn, lifelong vegetarian, and I can say emphatically, in vegetarian diet, there is no B12 group. So we have to have a vitamin supplement or nuts. So I take everyday nuts.
Let me answer these 2. The nuts don't contain vitamin B12. B12 is only present little bit in the vegetables, but our body makes lot of B12 in the gut. In the intestine there are lot of germs, they make lot of vitamin B12, and still if you can count your B12 level, and if it is low you can take a supplement, I have no problem, especially after the age of 50, if the B12 is less you can take supplement. So far as lipoprotein small a, that's what they call it, they are outside this cholesterol and triglyceride. This is a genetic factor which helps to build up the blockage. Another, like these 6 things I told, blood pressure, sugar and all that. Similarly, this A1 that lipoprotein A1 is another factor which speeds up the blockage. They don't create the blockage, but they help to speed up the blockage. So if you can check yourself, if it is more than 40, then you have more chances, so you lower the cholesterol much more than whatever we are doing. So 130, you try to keep it at 100, so it will give you additional protection. That's it.
Very good question.
Thank you.
Other questions I will ask later.
Okay.
Thank you. You know, I need to go to the other side of the room too, so I'm going to take 2 people here, then I'll come to the middle of the aisle. He raised his hand first, then I'll come to Neeruji.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Bimal Chhajer. I'm a general surgeon, so I've seen what the surgery is like and what the blood is like and how to flow the blood in the body. My question to you, I'm impressed with your talk, particularly about the diet, and everybody knows we are mostly vegetarian also. My question is about the stress. Your fourth one was the stress, and I would like to hear from you or anybody in the audience who could define the stress, give the different type of stress, and how to reduce, and the last step, how to eliminate it. And the spirituality, does it play a role, or the...
Let me answer that. That's a big question. Stress, you know, there is no measurement. 10 gram stress है, 1 mental stress है, 100 meter stress है या 10 kilometer का stress है, because there is no unit of measuring the stress. So you smile in front of the doctor, he says, oh, you are such a relaxed person, but inside you are so much stressed. Stress, you know, in medical science they describe anything that leads to secretion of adrenaline and steroid into the blood. That's medical definition, nothing to do with common people. If I have to describe stress for common people, it is something happening against your wishes. Anything that happens which you don't like is stress. So you want to go somewhere and somebody says don't go, you are stressed. You want somebody to behave like this, your son, he does not behave, you get stressed. So anything that happens against your wishes. Now there are 2 factors. One, what is happening and what you want. What I want is my wish, and what is happening is reality. Now we try to match every day. How many times you know?
100.
Not 100, 10,000 times. Every step, every sentence we match. If it is according to me or not. Suppose I saw here there is a white spot. Oh, kahan se aa gaya ye? Immediately there is a little stress, but not a bigger one, smaller one. Why he said like that? Why he is late? Why I am late? Everywhere, every point you will get stressed. खाने में salt ज़्यादा है कम है? खाने में वो तीखा ज़्यादा है गरम है ठंडा है? इतना गरम क्यों दे दिया? इतना ठंडा क्यों दे दिया? Everywhere we are matching. If it matches, happy. If we don't match, unhappy. So stress keep on generating 24 hours in our life. We cannot cut down the stress to 0, और 0 लाना बड़ा खराब बात है. अगर 0 ले आए ना तो आप काम भी नहीं करोगे.
डॉक्टर साहब, अभी तो सब कोई औरतों को स्ट्रेस हो रहा है कि घी तेल के बगैर खाना कैसे बनेगा?
नहीं, ये it's all in mind. मैंने बता दिया कैसे
पकौड़े
बनेगा.
कैसे बनेंगे?
वैसे बने.
भटूरे कौन
ना सब बनता है. पकोड़े, समोसे, कचौड़ी सब बनाते हैं. आप जाओ वहाँ पे.
50 days.
We are making
I'm going to go quickly round.
ना
Just few more questions.
स्ट्रेस का we tell people half कर दो stress. half कर दो मतलब क्या हो गया? Unnecessary वाला बंद कर दो. There are 2 bigger stresses, smaller stresses. Smaller वाला कौन सा है? ये 5 मिनट लेट क्यों हुआ? इसने ऐसा क्यों बोला? इसने ऐसा क्यों पहना? ये सारे छोड़ दो, इसमें बड़ा लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बड़े बड़े को पकड़ लो. पैसे का कमी है तो काम ज़्यादा करते हैं. अगर वेदर खराब है या बच्चे को पढ़ाना है, so bigger stresses you adhere. Try to give up the smaller ones. We are busy with the smaller ones. ये यहाँ क्यों सामान रखा है, गंदा क्यों है? Now all these, if you can give up, half the stress goes down, and then doing meditation helps it. So stress you cannot make 0 at all. Definitely not. And don't think I am also in that category. Nobody gets 0 stress. थोड़ी बहुत stress होगा तभी आप काम करोगे. Next.
Neeru Brownery.
Hello, thank you for very good information.
My question is, I worked in nuclear cardiology for 25 years. In fact, I understood much better than my license, what I did for. So my question to you is, in a normal population then, I suppose in our blood markers are good. Our cholesterol is good, our triglycerides are good, our blood pressure, everything is good. And this is controlled by preventive maintenance of the medications. And but we are not following the vegan vision. So their population of the statistics we fall in. Triglycerides are fine, LDL, HDL is all in normal range, blood pressure is fine, but all controlled by medications, but not following the vision protocol. So where did that population we fall in?
No, see, you can always control at least 4 cholesterol, triglyceride, BP, sugar by medicines. But walking you cannot control by medicine, so you have to do your efforts as much as possible. And then after that, even if you cannot control, then I can give you medicines. So when a heart patient is a confirmed heart patient, I don't wait for them to control. First thing I do, I give them all the medicines so that I bring everything to the rock bottom, so that at least from the next day he is protected from heart attack. And then we tell them you start following this diet of walking, exercise and all to reduce your weight. So as much they can do, they will do. Suppose they lack somewhere, I can make up with the medicines. But again, these numbers are very important. People come and tell me, sir, my cholesterol is very good. I said, give me the number. Sir, 200. I said, how it is good? I need 129. No, sir, वो लिखा है ना 200 तक चलता है. I said, no, चलता है, नीचे वाला लो. तो मेरा आदमी अगर वो पेन 200 में लेके आएगा तो मैं क्या करूँगा? उसको नौकरी से निकालूंगा पहला कि तुम्हारा कॉमन सेंस बहुत, जब 130 में मिल रहा था तुमने 200 वाले से कैसे कर दिया? बोला सर तीनों अवेलेबल था. I said तीनों अवेलेबल था, but we are looking for the best. तो this is how I look at it कि कोलेस्ट्रॉल के नंबर में कभी नहीं बोलता हूँ नॉर्मल को मानता हूँ, तो मुझे नंबर बताओ. Usually वो ज़्यादा को ही नॉर्मल मान के चलता है. Most of the people do that. But again, since you are a doctor, so maybe you will know better. But I want 130 or less than 130, not anything more. So even if you eat little bit fat here and there and you maintain your lipids and everything, chances are definitely less that you get a heart attack. But I want the best is defined. If you want to do little less than the best, I have no problem. But again, depends on what you want. अगर हार्ट की बीमारी है तो फिर मैं कोई compromise नहीं करना चाहता. So you check the CT scan, find out the blockage, and then decide how much liberty you want to take.
Miss Anubhanex.
Thank you so much for all the information. So I saw your clips with the Rashmani just last weekend. I must have shared it with at least 50 people. And I'm a physical therapist myself and a fitness enthusiast. I already have a list of 20 people who I can refer to in India from near and dear ones. They're in different phases. Some of them have been have all the risk factors. Some of them have undergone angioplasties. Some of them have undergone CABGs. So my question to you is, people who have undergone angioplasty, how would this program work for them? They already have been a part of the system.
That's all right. See, remember, they have to protect that blockage coming back again into that stent. And for that also, they have to follow everything to the best. So if you have already done a bypass surgery, angioplasty, you cannot wait for the second one to come. And it comes very often. Today only I received a call from some patient of ours, remember, and that time I told him don't go for an angioplasty. But somehow the doctors convinced him to get 4 stents. And now they call up today, कि सर उसमें से 2 बंद हो गया, bypass surgery बोल रहा है. But
so people from wherever they are in their journey of heart disease,
they have
everybody
to
will
follow.
benefit from this program.
Definitely.
To build up collateral circulation system.
Collateral circulation plus obviously make sure that everything in the green zone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I guess prevention is better than cure. That is the lesson. I think we are short of time now, right? No, I will go on this side of the room, but you want to limit the questions? Or can I ask everyone? You're okay?
I have 10 minutes. Don't worry.
Dr. Sood next.
I'm Dr. Sood, I'm a psychiatrist. My question is, throughout our life we have been told that we need protein, carbs, and
fats.
And there are certain vitamins which are fats, or regarding cholesterol, which is imagine which is better than LDL, and other things you say, our brain is fat, our insulation is fat, the immunity is fat. So how are you going to replace it?
I tell people, see, there is something called a minimum recommended dose. I think in the US they call it a RDA. That is the minimum recommendation dose. Minimum recommendation of fat intake is 10% of the calories. So suppose you are taking 1600 calories per day, so 10% is 160 calories, which makes about 18 grams of fat. And if you eat chapatis, rice, and all the fruits and cereals and all added up together, 18 grams is coming to our body. So remember, the minimum recommended is coming from invisible sources. From visible, you don't actually require anything. So that is the minimum one, and maximum there is no limit. So fat soluble vitamins we come. You take 4 tomatoes, make a soup out of it. You will see on the top there is some layer of fat. Where it has come from? It is already there in the tomato. So nature has already provided us with adequate fat intake. So that is coming from there, and there is no doubt. We have a PhD research done on that, on this zero oil diet and our diet, and MSc thesis was written. They have shown that it is about 18 to 19 gram fat is already coming. Plus, when you are not eating, the body has so much of fat that also you eat up. So that is an extra fat taken care of. So I think there is no problem no need to worry from that angle. I think it's taken care of. Yeah.
Just a comment, questions. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. Made a recommendation about nuts. I'm like, how am I going to tell my clients you can't have nuts? That's what
But give me my answer. Give me my answer. If I'm not allowing any drop of oil, how can you give so much of fat in the form of nuts?
No, but at least a serving of nuts is fine. Almond,
see, below 20 years of age, below 20 years of age, no problem. Again, I must tell you, there is a lot of psychology in it. Psychology in the sense, I meet a lot of people. So the Bengali guy comes. I told him, don't take oil. He said, no problem, sir. Don't take ghee. No problem, sir. Don't take fish. Sir, I will die. So without fish, a Bengali will die. He says, then I said, if you eat, you will also die. Because it's full of cholesterol. So he comes back after a few minutes, sir, I have one more question. I said, what is the question? Sir, आप तो fish नहीं खाते हो. I said, no. Sir, आपके लाइफ में खुशी आएगी कहाँ से? आपके लाइफ में खुशी आएगी कहाँ से? I said, मेरे को देख के दुखी लग रहा है? नहीं, देखने तो ठीक लग रहे हो. I said, go back. After a few minutes comes back again. अब मैं बोला, अब क्या क्वेश्चन रहेगा? सर, आप तो नहीं खाते हो, अपने बच्चों को तो खिलाते होगे ना? I said, सवाल ही नहीं पैदा होता है. तो बोलता बच्चों पे अत्याचार. बोला वर्ल्ड का बेस्ट खाना जिंदगी भर नहीं खाएगा, रो रो के मर जाएगा. इतना बड़ा अन्याय इनके संग मत करो. नेक्स्ट दिन मारवाड़ी मिला, मारवाड़ी समझते जैनी थे. मैं बोला आप मछली मत खाना. बोला 1 लाख रुपया देगा ना तो भी नहीं खाऊंगा. मैं बोला आप घी मत खाना. बोले घी बिना रोटी उतरे कोटी. घी नहीं खाएगा तो यहीं पे रोटी अटक जाएगी. फिर मेरे को मिलता है वो क्या हरियाणा वाला, बोलता सब छोड़ दूंगा. 2 लीटर भैंस का दूध बिना जिंदगी में क्या है. देखिए जीने तो देंगे ना मेरे को. 2 लीटर भैंस का दूध चाहिए, और नॉर्मल दूध कोई पीने लायक दूध होता है, भैंस का दूध चाहिए. पंजाबी मिल रहा है, बोलता सब छोड़ दूंगा. सर 2 पैक शराब बिना लाइफ में क्या रहता है. इट्स ऑल इन आवर माइंड की इतना सा नट तो नहीं दोगे ना, बिकॉज दे आर एडिक्टेड टू नट्स. तो नट्स खा रहा है तो मन में लगता है इतना तो दे ही दो. तो इट्स नॉट आवर व्यूसेस. द लॉजिक इज टू बी वेरी. हाँ, आप बोलते हो सर मैं ब्लॉकेज चेक किया हूँ और मेरी 10% ब्लॉकेज है. अब ये बोलो 10 साल तक तो मैं प्रिवेंशन रेंज में रहूँ तो कैसा रहेगा. मैं बोला हाँ, बट प्रूव इट फर्स्ट. सो इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी ब्लॉकेज which we do not know from inside, क्या मानो 60-70 ब्लॉकेज हो.
Okay, namaskar. Wonderful presentation, Dr. Saab. I have a quick question. So I have always had a very high cholesterol, but my HDL is also very high. So the doctors told me you're okay because
there is also a ratio portion. I want to check with you. And also, is it possible that hereditarily I have high cholesterol?
Yes.
Thank you.
Heredity plays a long role. The body manufactures cholesterol. Suppose I've got 100 cholesterol in my blood, 70% is manufactured in the liver, 30% comes from the food. That 30 I can cut off. But that 70 becomes 170 in some people because genetic factors. So they are not making 70%, they are making 170%. So the cholesterol will jump. Now this is a genetic condition. In such cases, we can give you cholesterol lowering drug and make sure that their cholesterol is lowered, but HDL ratio is also playing some good role. So if it is 25% of the, more than 25% of the cholesterol, some safety is there. Still, I would say we should get a CT angiography, and if the blockages are reasonably more than 30%, then you start your medicines for cholesterol.
We have one of our last questions now from Ujjwala ji.
Thank you. Again, great presentation. Knowledge is power, and I really appreciate you focusing on knowledge and education. And I think the literacy level of general population, I'm saying, is very low when it comes to taking care of your own health. Another bad part is the pharma companies, the direct-to-consumer advertising is really killing the knowledge of the people because it's antagonizing the thought process. मेरा cholesterol high है, कोई बात नहीं, मैं statin ले लूँगा. मेरे को heart problem है, कोई नहीं, मैं beta blocker ले लूँगा. And I think the pharma company is really not doing justice. So thank you again.
No, I'm seeing this. Yesterday I told you I was in a conference, preventive cardiology conference. They never talked about diet, exercise. They said, sir, वो कोई follow लोग करता नहीं, हम लोग दवाई से control करते हैं. I said, but why can't you recommend? No, that's not our job. There are community health workers. They will explain, but we don't explain anything. We don't have time to do all this. But I will write proper medications according to the guidelines.
Exactly.
So that is how they look at it. But they don't talk about. It's a preventive cardiology clinic, conference. Nobody talked about diet. Nobody talked about exercise. Nobody talked about yoga. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
They all talked about giving this medicine is better or that medicine is better, what combination for diabetes, what combination for lowering blood pressure, nothing to do with the lifestyle. And they said obesity में लोग follow करते नहीं हैं, इसलिए हम लोग सीधा दवाई देके ही control कर देते हैं. So it's like that.
I just walked around a little bit, Dr. and a couple of people asked me a question which touched my heart, which shows how much we tested. They said, how can we help? This is what few people have asked me. That shows how good the...
No, I must tell you, see, in everybody, there is a tendency, यार मैं कुछ कर सकूं तो अच्छा रहेगा. So you have given me your mails. I definitely want कि US के एक कोने में मैं ये बात पहुंचाऊं. And I must tell you how popular these lectures have become. Last time, about 4 years back, I came and they told me कि सर अमेरिका में ना आपको लेक्चर करना है तो 2 महीना पहले से डिसाइड करना होगा डेट. पीपल डिसाइड देयर फ्यूचर प्रोग्राम, तो आप हमको डेट दे दो. सो इन न्यू जर्सी आई गेव देम अ डेट कि 2 महीना पहले से डेट ले लो. सो माय प्रोग्राम वाज फिक्स्ड, दे गॉट अ डेट. सो आफ्टर द लेक्चर सो मेनी पीपल केम, सर अभी कहाँ जा रहे हो आप? आई सेड आई एम गोइंग टू द बे एरिया. सर कैन यू डू अ लेक्चर आफ्टर 4 days? आई सेड 4 days में आप तो अमेरिका में तो 2 महीना पहले से साइड फाइनल हो जाता है, 4 दिन में कैसे कर लो? सर आप हाँ बोलो. सो आई सेड चलो कर लो. सो ही कॉल्स अप फ्रॉम द सेम प्लेस लाइक यू, मैं हेल्प करना है. वहाँ पे अपने फ्रेंड को बोला, नो यू हैव टू ऑर्गेनाइज लेक्चर. अरे यार कैसे बोल रहे हो? बोला आई वांट ओनली 10 people बट यू डू इट. एंड यू नो ही सेड क्या करेंगे? बोला ठीक है तो डॉक्टर साहब को डेट दे दो और मैं बताता हूँ. देन ही सेंट मैसेजेस, immediately called up, sir 200 लोग हो रहे हैं. And I did lecture for 200 people on the notice of 4 days. Next day asked me अब कहाँ जा रहा हूँ? मैं बोला ह्यूस्टन जा रहा हूँ, बॉस्टन जा रहा हूँ. दोनों जगह एक लेक्चर किया. After 3 days, after 2 days. So it is something like that. Everybody wants to know all this. Everybody is concerned कि यार मेरे घर पे हार्ट अटैक ना हो जाए, because amongst your friends, relatives, you will see heart attacks happening because it's so common. Out of 10, 3 are dying. So 3 में एक आध तो आपके जान पहचान में होगा ही कोई. तो everybody is concerned. I want only the message should go to everybody. Definitely, I am running 127 centers, तो पैसे का कमी नहीं हो रहा है. But problem is, I want to spread it widely, and that's the kind of passion I got, and that conviction and passion is what is really important. So spread information. You have given your mails, and whenever I come, I will inform people, and we want to hold a larger gathering. I don't mind talking to people, but again, it should pass, and I know how genuinely you are interested to, spread the information. तो मेरी YouTube channel है ही है. Send everybody Saurabh, and most popular lecture of Dr. Bimal Chhajer करके video है. That's 1 hour and 14 minutes. Already seen, as I told you, 7 million plus people have seen it. Raj Simani वाली video है. You can Raj Simani podcast. So information spread करना है, and whenever I come, I'll definitely ask for help from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I also want to express my apologies. This tendency that we speak in our mother tongue, so some of you might not have understood few sentences, but majority of his presentation was in English. So that's one thing, and I appreciate your patience. Lastly, I don't have any words to express my gratitude for everybody who is here, those people who selflessly helped me, people who sponsored this event, and people who are supporting me. I was with Dr. Kathani yesterday, and he told me that this practice of lifestyle medicine is now, there was an association, right? Association of doctors who are practicing this. So there is this movement that, sir, you are having spearheading for such a long time, is happening in America in a way, right?
The only thing we want the accuracy and all the factors together. Remember the drum theory. Don't go haywire. थोड़ा सा कर लिया इधर, थोड़ा सा उधर कर लिया, थोड़ा सा उधर किया. No. You have to be.
So give the name of that institute that you're talking about.
First of all, thank you everyone, especially Rakeshji. And Dr. Chhajer and I were contemporaries at All India Institute. I left All India Institute in 89 and I came here. 92 I left actually. 92. Alright. So again, whatever he said makes a lot of sense. The credit is to make it so simple for everybody to understand. My only additional message, and to supplement what he said, is that this diet is one thing, but there are other things that we should consider. But before I say that, I want to say one thing funny, and please don't take it badly. We are all going to die. That is a great news you have to take. And you have to be at peace with that idea that someday I'm going to die. And therefore you have to live well today, and call it spirituality or whatever, but that is, once you understand that death is certain, and you should do everything you can to sort of enjoy life and live well and prolong useful living. Having said that, diet is one component, but there are other components. One is, most important I think, is maintaining relationship with your friends and family. That is the single most important predictor of longevity.
That is stress management part.
Yes.
It's a part of stress management.
Number two, again, you can go number two, whichever way, but I consider sleep. So sleep, as Dr. Solanki was asking about stress, and again, I don't have a definition, but I think if you keep your expectations low, okay, that will reduce your stress.
Yeah.
So prioritize sleep. There are a lot of things you learn to say no. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses, okay? I don't have to drive the best new car, okay? So again, coming back to the second factor, sleep is important. Third thing that is in your hand is moderate degree of exercise. For me, the most important thing about exercise is it should be fun, okay? So don't do exercise just because Dr. Chhajer said you must do exercise. Don't do it as a punishment. You have to have fun, and sometimes it's good, do it with a friend, okay? Start out slow, but plan out today what is the fun physical thing you're going to do tomorrow, okay? And if tomorrow is going to be snow, figure out something you can do at home. If tomorrow is going to be 80 degrees out, figure out something. If tomorrow is going to be 60 degrees, figure out something. The third is exercise. Of course, primarily plant-based diet, and this is where I think the message to public gets a little confusing. Dr. Chhajer's main emphasis is zero fat and no oil. Some people will say, no, control salt intake. Some people will say, cut out free sugars. And this is where we doctors are guilty of communicating message in a broken down fashion, and to get traction, we become adamant. I think, as Rakesh said, primarily plant-based whole food diet, and I would say, you can only make changes that you can keep for the rest of your life. So what I have done for myself is increase the plants, increase the fruits, increase the nuts, increase. And my main message is, again, I may differ on this with, Dr. Chhajer, but for me, I have primarily cut out ultra-processed. Okay? So anything that's made in a factory to me is not good. Okay? So I would rather eat something natural. So that's the next thing. And then avoid poisons, I call them poisons. Okay? So smoking is one of them. So all those substances which could be negative, and you might be reading, those who are up to date on reading, the lay media. Till about 10 years ago, they used to say one drink of a red wine is better for you. And now, suddenly everybody is saying, even a drop of alcohol is not good. So again, medical science advances and changes.
Wine was sponsored by the wine coalition. Yeah, that's why it's recommended. Yeah, it was not by the independent.
So summary, keep friends and family. Most important thing, at least make 1 or 2 phone calls. Okay, every day make a habit of making phone calls. Okay. Prioritize sleep, exercise, primarily plant-based whole food diet, and of course you should control your fat intake, and then also avoid bad substances.
We have a lecture also.
I just wanted to say one thing before I forget. This lecture was there while about 15 days back I planned that okay, I must attend this conference. Then I said okay, why not try to get some lectures? So I talked to my friend Someshji, and he organized these 2 lectures. So I want
yes, Somesh,
thanks. He is the person now. He has nothing to gain out of it. He has to come all the way from New Jersey to here with me, and his wife is the airport, and his wife, they have taken so good care of us, and I think I'm lost for them.
So the same way, Dr. Kagani doesn't know that. But when I met him yesterday, my purpose was to recruit such talented people, and we will do a 30-minute lecture. And obviously, nothing can compete with the deep knowledge and the experience that Dr. Chhajer has. But we'll try to bring such distinguished speakers maybe on Zoom, because, and then in the end, we want to build a community on knowledge. The benefit of a community is that we draw inspiration from each other, like Dr. Kagani said that. If I see Vishal doing it, then I'm going to do it. If I see Somesh doing it, Pradeepji doing it. Pradeepji wrote a history of his Tandon family. I'm so inspired by that. One day when I retire, I'm going to do it for my community. This is how one strike the other, and the candle from one to another candle, and then the whole world gets lit up. So, Dr. we have no words to thank you. You are such generous with your time. Thank you so much, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Ji. Thank you very much for coming to the Samay Mandir. We have to make an announcement. We do have lectures every now and then. On March 17, we have multiple melanoma and colon cancer awareness event on March 17. If any of you are interested, please join us. It's by Dr. Farooq Basir and Dr. Jagmohan Kaur. They're both going to be here, and it's 12 o'clock. After 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock, then the lunch will be served. So please join us on March 17th. And thank you very much from the Samay team, Nandaji, Arjanji, and Anjuji. You have done a great job. Thank you. A round of applause for our team.